unbelievable honor to be here tonight. It's a special, very special honor for me to tell you about a gentleman who I met when he was a child. And for the last 4 decades, I've had the honor to watch mold himself into a husband, loving father, extraordinary teacher, and your Coach of the Year. When he was 8 or 10, I'm not sure, his father, who was an instrumental part of our youth program, came by my house to drop something off. Erik was with him. I remember asking him if he was planning on playing football for hand. The answer, an emphatic yes, although he may remember that differently. He had blonde hair then. And as you can see, he suffers from the same fate that has befallen at least 2 of his predecessors. The sport will do that to you. So before long, he became a hand tiger, something I know matters to him as much as any player that ever stepped through our doors. Over those years while he played for me, he had a terrible loss in his life. He lost his dad, and during that time, something no teenage boy should have to endure, but it only stiffened his resolve and commitment to make something of himself based on the core values his dad had instilled in him. He went off to college, and upon returning home asked if he could help out with our program. I was happy to have him. In a short time, he became our head freshman coach, then a varsity assistant, and ultimately, he brought us out of what Coach Jack Sidlecki, the Yale football coach, used to call caveman football, which was, 3 yards and a cloud of dust, into a team that spread the field and threw the ball around and really became dynamic as our offensive coordinator. He then went on to Coggins High School, where I think he won as many games in 3 years as they had in the previous decade. He left that position in 2019 when COVID hit, and spent that year leading the group of boys from Haddon-Killingworth High School through a very difficult stretch. When the hand position opened in 2020, he was ready. In my opinion, there are 5 qualities that make a great high school coach. 1, they must be passionate while establishing standards for effort, sportsmanship, and preparation, which are non-negotiable. They must be lifelong football learners who are always looking for ways to train or scheme so as to give their team an edge. They must be honest and on message and able to make hard, sometimes unpopular decisions when performance conflicts with the standards they have established. They must build a network of coaches, teachers, administrators, parents, and the community at large who are committed to the success of the program and support those standards. They must, most importantly, be stewards of their program's tradition and have unconditional love and respect for every boy that crosses their path. It is impossible to measure any of those criteria using wins or losses, but trust me, Erik checks every one of those boxes. When it comes to wins and losses, Coach Becker is 45-14. He has a 76% winning percentage, which I'm very happy because I have the lowest winning percentage of all hand high school football coaches, and his 76% brings mine up a little bit. He's been in the state playoffs 4 out of 5 years, and he's brought 2 more state championships back to hand high school, along with several league championships. On a personal level, I love him. Not for wins, but for who he is. Because he cares so much about what our program has stood for since Larry began it 50 years ago, and is passionate about ensuring that every generation of hand football player will know what they represent when they wear our uniform. Most importantly, because he loves his players and honors the game. It is a deep honor for me to introduce your 2025 Coach of the Year, Erik Becker. Billy, there. I think this is the 3,000th picture Billy has taken.
Thank you, folks. I am honored to accept this award on behalf of our program. I am blessed to serve as the head football coach, I'm going to take this out, at my alma mater. To stand on the shoulders of giants. The Godfather, Larry Ciotti. My mentor, Steve Filippone. And my friend Dave Mastriani. I coach to help boys become authentic men who will impact the world for good. I coach to safely initiate boys into their warrior archetype for the good of society. I coach to shepherd them through the transformational process of playing hand football. I am blessed beyond words to do this work, and I'll do it with all my heart, as long as I'm able. I want to thank our principal. We have Connecticut's Principal of the Year, TJ Salutary. He is exceptional. I'm grateful for him every day, and he guides our ship. We have an outstanding athletic director in Mr. Chris Farrell. I want to thank our players, represented here tonight by Aiden Brennan. We ask our boys to be gentlemen, scholars, and athletes in that order. Aiden exemplifies this. He's a gentleman. One of the most outstanding young people I've ever worked with. He's a trained peer advocate. He's a member of our award-winning Vibe show choir. He's a scholar. Academically, Aiden is off the charts. When I saw his transcript, I did not realize our GPA scale went that high. He was offered a walk-on spot at Cornell, a roster spot at MIT. He got into a handful of the best colleges in America. It looks like he's going to go to Carnegie Mellon. Aiden's an athlete. He took the journey. Aiden worked hard with no guarantees. He played JV as a junior. Senior year, he emerged as an outstanding safety on a defense that allowed 9 points per game. He played half the season with his arm in a cast and still managed 50 tackles and 4 interceptions. Great players make great coaches, and it's never the other way around. I want to thank my staff. We have a phenomenal coaching staff. And at this stage of my career, my job is to empower young coaches to do great work. These are my brothers, and I'm grateful for them every day. Tyler Tarantino, Timmy Chalmers, Billy Ryan, Peter Lattis, Mike Marino, Jordan Chatton, Tyler Machado, Carl McDowell, Ralph Ionorio. These men work tirelessly to put our boys in a position to be successful. Two other guys I got to mention real quick that helped elevate my career: Tony Franklin, who gave me the skills to coach on a varsity level, and Tony Holler, who helped me understand that speed is a skill that can be trained. I want to thank my partner Jessica. She's my rock, she's my love, she's my best friend, and my daughter. The experience of being a father far and away is the most profound thing I've ever done in my life, and she's the brightest star in my sky. But this award, more than anything else, is the result of Steve Filippone and his profound influence in my life. I'm going to rewind to the fall of '95. My senior year, Daniel Hand High School, Madison, Connecticut. We are not a very good football team. We've been good previously. 93 and 94, we played for state championships. 93, we got beat by an outstanding New Canaan team. And 94, we lost to a Ferran team that was better than us on that day. In my senior class, we had some guys quit, some guys went to private school, and there wasn't much left. And we were young and we took our lumps. And that happens, even in programs like ours. We're a small town, we're a public school. But great coaches do their best work in years like that. And we won our first game. And then on September 18th, 1995, my dad dies. Out of the blue. Out of the blue. These things happen. Bruce Springsteen put it best, life is but a house of cards. As fragile as each and every breath. And Coach Filippone came and he got me out of Spanish class. And he drove me home. And he sat on the couch next to me and he delivered the news. And my mom was lying on the floor, she couldn't get up. My little brother was crying in the corner. And at that moment, 3 things happened in my life that put me on a journey to being here today. Number 1, Coach Filippone becomes my father figure. He becomes the most important man in my life. On some level, he becomes my soulmate. He blesses me with his love and his presence. And I need that more than the air I'm breathing. Number 2, my teammates become my brothers. This program becomes my family. The locker room becomes my sanctuary. And our field becomes my safe space. Every day when I walk into our locker room, when I step onto our field, I am insulated from the chaos of my world. I am sheltered from the storm. Football goes from being the worst part of my day to being the best part of my day in an instant. And 3, I realize that what we're doing here with this game is about so much more than blocking and tackling. It is ministry, it is soul work, it is transformational. It is life-changing. It is an opportunity to shepherd young men through a transformational rite of passage. To guide them through the experience of adversity and welcome them on the other side as other-centered, more loving, more caring men. To help young boys become respectful, responsible, honest, and caring men who will protect those around them. And I realized I wanted to be a part of it. When I started coaching in 2001, I never aspired to be the head coach at Han High School. Only to do what the program needed and to serve our program in a way that honored our tradition, our town, and our school. That is still my objective. When I look at our boys, I realize that any of them can grow into this role of service. And I hope someday one of them will. It's an honor. This is for our program, and this is for Steve Filippone.
Well, I know these young men are hungry up here, so we're going to break.